lesson number 5, and that is what we're making. I suppose I better show it to you sooner or later. Couple of things. This jig is actually too large for a 1-inch fairy, which would be that long. My eyesight is no good 20 years later for a 1-inch one. So we have around about a 55mm long fairy. Now what I've done is I've put another strip on the jig, and I'll now show you how to run the wire along that to form up the basis of her body. So, lesson 5, let's play. First of all, put the wire through and just through your loop, put a bend in it and bring it back around onto that bit of heavy wire or your spindle, and then you start spinning. Once you've got the first bit in, it'll sit next to it. Now once you can get your finger up to it and hold it, you can get it going. Just slowly to start with. There's no great rush. Now because we're only building here, what you can do at this point in time is do a fairly large wind. And we'll come up to around about where a waist is going to be. Now we go back, but as you go back, each time the wire hits, it hits on the loop you did before. So you just wind yourself back. Now you do this slowly so that you know you've got the wire at the right angle to wind it on. Now we get back down to where we've gone into that and come back. But now when we come back, we want to go in between the two that we did before, or the first line up. So what you'll get is that. You'll see it, it's just in between all the way up. Just gives you a bit more bulk at a quicker rate. So now, I think I've got to move this over. We're going to do a waist. Now a waist is going to be from here to here. So, quick run up, quick run back, quick run up, quick run back. Now if you see what I'm doing, I'm actually going just behind the run I did before. Up, loop, come back, just behind one of those loops. Down to the end, back up. So what you're doing is you're filling up sort of like an even section. It's not building up highly in one spot, it's building up fairly evenly along. Just take it slow. You're not out at this point in time to do anything major. Now as I said, if you start forming peaks the next time around, go around the peak and miss it. Go in between the peaks so that you build up at an equal level. Now, as I said, figure of 8, so that's just a straight across, straight back. There's your figure of 8. Come back across or around, come back before that one, go back after. So now we've got 2 figure of 8s. Go around, come back again, 3, go right down onto the end so that this wire here will hold it, come back again, 4, don't stress about it, come back, 5, bit big but that doesn't matter, we can come around again, and when we get to that big gap, fill it in. Alright, now we come shorter now because what we're trying to do is build the hips. don't have to get so technical, we don't have to be in such a neat section. We've got a bit of bulk, and that would probably be enough. Oh, I'm almost out of wire, so we'll run it up until we've got the end of that wire. When you get near the end of that wire, bring it down on here and just finish it off there. Press it in with your thumb. That last little bit, just push it out of the road so you haven't got a point sticking up. Being the adamant professional that I am, I have more wires on hand. So now we're going to go put it into there and twist, bring it down. Now what we're going to do is build the trunk or the chest section. It's almost to there, so it's back up here. So this is the shoulders. Now, to keep this video short and sweet, I'm not sure whether to do this fast or just do it slow, but basically what I'm doing now is I'm building up that trunk section. Now your head on this particular one, this one will be about 75 mil. Your head on this one will actually be this section here. So we bring the chest section or the trunk up to about what looks roughly like 3/4 the size of this section. So you don't want it too full actually, you need it to be a little bit gappy in the wire. You'll understand later, because lesson 6 we'll put her fingers on, or arms on, and her wings on, or tail, whichever way you want to go. So now what we can do here is we can start doing a very close finish. These smaller ones need a fairly neat finish. Now going uphill is fine, because the wire will push down towards the bottom of the hill, or down here and hold itself up. Once you get to the center, you have to go to the other end and work your way back, or the wire will just constantly slip on you. Okay, again we've come to an end, so all I'm going to do is just give it a twist, stick it underneath something and press it in. It's out of the road. And another bit of wire, put it into the torso section, come down fairly neatly, and now I'm going to build back the other way. Don't worry about it if it looks a little bit off-sided or whatever. You can see how it slides back down off this tall one. Now that tall one there, just there, creating a problem. So just push it down a bit. You're not allowed to do it 100%. You can do it 100% if you've got 2 days. The idea is not do it as soon as you can. A little bit of trouble just there because it doesn't like that big lump, but that's alright. Put a bit more in there, and then just slowly work it back off and get down here into the waist area, and then a little bit more now on the torso. The torso is not done as much finished as well as this. There is reasons for that. Now we just go up the neck a little bit, cut ourselves off. Again, put your finger or thumb against it, spin it around until it's almost in as far as it goes before it jabs you, and then push it in. One torso, so looking at it, you have trunk section, hip section, coming down roughly to the knees and down to the feet, whatever. We'll work that out later. So that's lesson 5. That is going to take some practice. That's going to take some time. You'll get used to it. Play and play and play. This size is good. Once we get up past a foot, they're even easier because there's a different way of doing them totally that uses about a quarter of the amount of wire. But for a small pendant or something like that, as you can see, she actually worked out to be a lot smaller. So, arms and wings, lesson 6. And with any luck, given that this one's a little pin, but I think what I'll do is, what I actually did with her was I used a straight heavy piece of copper instead of a wrapped section like this one, and the idea was to make a pin, but I don't like that pin. It's a bit sharp and it's a bit short, so what I'll probably do with it is put a loop in it and turn it into a necklace. But that's it. See you in lesson 6.